Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. You are watching Crit and Miss, and this is an impromptu test with all of my friends that you're going to be seeing in our Amongst Shadows and Stone stream coming up on Friday. I wasn't sure if we were actually going to get around to doing a quick stream to introduce all of the players, but fortunately things have worked out the way that I kind of hoped they would, and we've got a little bit of time to introduce everyone. So I'll get us all started. If you're watching this stream, then you probably already know who I am. My name is Sven, and I run Crit and Miss. You may already be familiar with some of my other works, as I run the Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus campaign on Othic Gaming's Twitch channel, and we do that every second week on a Friday night, and it is a lot of fun. So if you want to see some of my DM work before this Friday, jump on his Twitch channel and check that out. Now, what we're going to do for tonight is we're just going to go around the table, and we're each going to take a turn to introduce ourselves. So when the actual campaign starts on Friday night, you know who everyone is, and you're familiar with all of our lovely voices. So to get us started, I am going to hand it over to Christian. Christian, how are you, man?
I am not too bad. Lovely to be here. First time on a stream that I got my feet wet, was nice. But no, it's thank you for bringing me here, Sven. For those who've seen any of the posts or advertisement, my name is Christian. I work with D&D Hermes. I'm only a guest appearing on the lovely Crit and Miss role-playing games that Sven has created. And yeah, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm helping him co-DM on the day, on the 4th. Make sure you're there this coming Friday. And I'll hopefully be reappearing for the follow-up session of this Amongst Shadows and Stones. I will be portraying the monsters for us and the NPCs with this co-DM situation. So Sven will be the god above, as you know, with DMs, and I will be viewing the life into all of the other NPCs around. And when it comes to the encounters, I will be the bad guy, which I'm very much looking forward to. See if I can get a TPK working out here. But otherwise, that is myself. So I'll be seeing you guys shortly as a punky bartender. Otherwise, that's me.
So yeah, when Christian reached out to me and let me know that he may be interested in joining me for one of my streams, I jumped on it straight away. I'm like, someone to do the work for me? Absolutely, you're goddamn right. I'm going to get you in here, and I'm going to get you to run all the NPCs, so I don't have to do all the awkward voices and keep track of everything while I'm running the stream, because everyone knows that above all other things, I am extremely lazy. So it's really good to have you join us. So tell us a little bit about Hermes D&D services down in Brisbane. What do you guys actually do, man?
So we have only started a couple of months ago, and we've already had a few bookings in. Basically, we're a kind of party hire service. A funny way that my family always puts it here about it is I'm a party clown for hire, but I run D&D instead. So basically, we get hired out for events, whether it is an actual party, someone's birthday party, just them organising something fun on the weekend with some friends. And funnily enough, a majority of our bookings are new people trying out D&D for the first time. As everyone here in this stream can probably agree, playing, and even maybe you guys watching as well, 5e in D&D has been the most intuitive way that new players can pick up the game and learn it for the first time out of nearly all editions of D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. It's a lot easier for people to learn. The rules are a lot simpler. Armor mechanics, hit points, fighting, role-playing, stuff like that. And so a lot of the hirings that we've been getting have been people playing D&D for the first time, giving it a go, seeing how it goes. So that's basically what we do. The only other detail I guess I could give into is with our hires, we try to kind of like theme each of the sessions that I go to. So, for example, my partner works with me doing decor, and when we do get hired for an event, if we were to do, say, a frost giant one shot, she's got a lot of skulls and bones, wooden plates and stuff that we put around the table and around the area. We've got a vampire one, and we've got a couple of small chandeliers and silverware and everything that we bring. For a coffee shop I recently ran, a sewer-styled one underneath a city, and so we have some pipe works and metal works that are meant to look like kind of candle holders. We've got some skeletal rats and everything on top of it, and we try to theme it so that way people can have a fun time, and it suits the whole atmosphere and makes it a night to remember rather than just your regular D&D that you might sit down with in the library. So that's basically what we do. So it's a lot more in person, whereas Sven's got a very IT rigged up system set here, and he's worlds ahead of me in that sort of light.
I gotta say, the only thing holding this stream together is duct tape and twine at the moment. As you guys saw, George dropped out for a second there, and everything just went haywire. It swapped a couple of feeds around and all that kind of stuff. So, like, I'm just improvising this, man. But I mean, that sounds awesome. Anyone down in Brisbane, highly recommend. If you want to play a game of D&D, get in touch with Christian at Hermes D&D Services. Alrighty then. So we'll just go to the next person down the line. Grace, how are you?
I am fantabulous.
What would you like to tell people about yourself? Maybe a bit of your experience playing D&D?
Well, I'm relatively new. I really only started in late 2019. I was just telling the other guys before, I started because of the Try Guys. I saw their video, the Try Guys Try D&D, and I just really thought it was so much fun, and I am such a huge nerd, and I was like, damn, that looks like a lot of fun. So I just sort of did some Googling, and I found a game at my local sort of university, and I just sort of dropped myself in there. This character I'll be playing in this campaign is actually the first character I ever played, so it's really nice to revisit her. It's been a bit of a while. It's been a hot minute, so yeah.
Awesome. Love it. So next person down the line normally would be my good friend from high school, Hadrian. Unfortunately, some personal things popped up and he wasn't able to join us tonight. He didn't know that we're actually going to be streaming, so I'll let him off the hook just this one time. I'll just give him some kind of gameplay disadvantage when we actually start the campaign on Friday night. So we're just going to skip him and go straight on to Toby. How you doing, Toby?
I'm doing good. I've been playing D&D since mid to late 2015. Been going through a couple of campaigns. I've gone through a campaign I've been on now for about 4.5 years. That's been going strong. So I had a fair bit of experience with D&D and just love to play it. Did a lot of drama in high school, so it's just the best way to express being a nerd and role playing at the same time. So love it and keen to jump into it.
You say being a nerd, but I found these days, when I first started playing D&D, I was a bit like, should I tell people that I play D&D? But as I got a little bit more into it and I started DMing and all this kind of stuff, I told more and more people, it's not a niche product anymore.
No,
like,
too, because it's such a good way to have that role playing experience, and the more people that get into it, the more wide this thing should be spread. And it should be spread so wide because it's just the best way to express yourself in a whole different genre. It's so good to just have more people involved and have this experience with different people. It's good.
There we go. Yeah, no, and a lot of times when I tell people that I play D&D, they're like, "Oh, you're playing D&D? I've always wanted to play D&D." And it's it surprises you with what people say that as well, because it's not just people in their mother's basement anymore. It's everyone, and that's awesome. Next person, George, my good friend. How are you, man? Want to introduce yourself? Oh, he's dropped out.
No, he doesn't.
Got a little bit camera shy. Dropped out of the feed. Didn't want to
It's just a
introduce
bit
him
of
until the last
stage
second.
fright, yeah.
Oh, there he is. He's coming back. Give him 1 moment. He'll be back in a second, guys. While we're waiting, yeah.
Just sent you a message, by the way, just about the stream, just organising everything.
Yeah, I have turned up the audio, and hopefully that makes it sound a little bit better. Hey, there he is. George joins us once more. How you doing, man? Want to introduce yourself? Sorry, having a few audio issues.
Currently in the fight of my life with this internet service. Yep. While yeah. While I can, my name is George. I currently am playing over at the Dungeons, which is a podcast service that currently we're playing the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, which is probably a very roleplay heavy sort of campaign. Our main focus over there is to help spread veteran suicide awareness. That's kind of my background with them. For this one shot, I am playing a kobold swarmkeeper ranger. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah, so you mentioned that you're currently involved with if at some point you can you like share a link in chat and Christian can give his role for services? Pop that in chat so anyone that's watching now or watching squirrels, snail races, that kind of thing. You need to check out that that's available on Spotify. Never mind, but check it out anyway. So in a second, we're gonna actually swap over to the gameplay and I am gonna allow everyone to introduce the character as we introduce to them in a tavern. And I'm gonna let Christian take over the role of the listener as we're recording on the Friday night. It's Thursday, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So if you don't already know, that's the time we'll be playing. So join us there. So, you guys ready to go? Ready to play some D&D or what?
I am keen.
Always.
Into it.
Just wait for
And we'll just have the kobold that is freezing in time.
Yeah.
We'll just drop out every now and then. Don't worry. It'll be fixed when we get to the actual campaign. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'll make sure that this internet. Oh, goodness me.
I'll just make another scene that we can switch to just grab yourself some days.
I did hear you previously about sending the link down in the description below, in the text below. I will definitely send that.
Donate now, streamers, people watching, all your viewers. Send some money to our Patreon so that way we can get George proper internet.
Yes, please. Or you can just send me away on a 5-star vacation where I can get away from my kids for a little bit, who are currently downloading lots of movies off Netflix. Anyways.
Any money donated during the stream will go directly into the
I think was indeed.
Alright, let's play some D&D.
Absolutely.
Here we are at a local tavern at a small town in the Border Kingdoms of the Pacific Coast, known as the town of Dunwich.
Sven, just holding for a sec. I think when it's swapped to this interactive mode, something's changed with your mic. You can't be heard.
What about now? Is that a little bit better?
Perfect, perfect. There we go.
Perfect. Alrighty, I'll remember to do that on the night. Add that to my notes. So yes, the four of you have each found your way to the small, lazy country town of Dunbridges, known for its delectable cheeses, and located in the Sword Coast region known as the Border Kingdoms. You've each arrived here for your own personal reasons. I'll allow you guys to explain what they are when we actually get into our character descriptions. But you have each been enlisted by the local constabulary known as the Fingers to act as essentially mercenaries, keeping the roads free of banditry and monsters and all that kind of stuff. And for whatever reason that you're here, you've been here for a while now, and I'll let you decide how long you've been there, and I'll let you decide how you guys came to know each other. You guys ready to dive in?
Yep, absolutely.
100.
Awesome. Let's do this. So, Christian, why don't you take over the role of our friendly or not so friendly, up to you, barkeep. What is going to be our what's our bartender's name?
Let's call him Philip.
Philip. Love it. Nice, simple country name. All right, Philip. What are you doing at the moment?
Look, Philip is currently just trying to peruse around, seeing who's causing a ruckus. This area of town is known for having adventurers coming here and there, and there's a wanted poster in the main wall, as you can see. That's one of the main reasons adventurers come, which is great for business for me, don't get it wrong. The only problem is they like to cause a bit of trouble here and there, and as soon as one sword gets lifted, chaos happens. So I'll ask everyone to keep their weapons usually at the front door before they enter, just to make sure all the patrons are safe here. So at the moment, I'm currently just keeping my eyes. I like to think myself as an adventurer of the bar myself.
All right. And the first of these intrepid adventurers to walk into this small country tavern is Thistle. Why don't you make your way into the tavern and describe what Philip the bartender sees?
So you see a 160 centimeter tall blonde gal, hair down to her feet, and she just stumbles through the door. She's huffing and puffing, she's covered in muds, there's twigs and leaves everywhere, and she's just clutching this map. And she like stumbles her way to the bar and just basically flops herself on it. You have no idea how long it took me to get here. And she's like, I was hoping you could help me find this place. And she slams this drawing down on the bar, and it is the crudest drawing you've seen in your whole life. Like, obviously, she's come
Look,
to
little
meet
missy,
someone here.
I just so you're aware, I don't serve drunk patrons. It's a
And-
particular rule here. The way you're kind of walking around. Do you need me to get you to someone to take you home? Are you okay?
No, I just tripped over a log and then fell down a hill and then fell into a bush and got stung by bees. But that's pretty
Bees.
classic. Yeah, but I need you to help me find this place, and by looking at the map, you can tell I'm here.
Yeah, sure. Pull the map over to my side of the bar. Yeah, is that a dog?
Oh no, it's meant to be like a house, I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oi, look, there's some pretty handy people here with maps. Maybe someone's got some sort of cartography sets. They can take a look at it. I'm just a barman myself. I can get you a drink, calm your nerves a bit after the tumbles you've been taking. But that map might need a professional. I'm just gonna say.
And she just takes a seat at the bar, totally gives up, and is just sort of ready and waiting. She's just going to look out for whoever arrives to give her some directions because she is completely lost and totally hopeless.
Don't despair too much, as he sees you kind of like dip into your hands. Look, Philip will make sure you're safe, and I start pouring a beer as the next patron enters.
Next patron. That is going to be an interesting one. George, you're up, man. What do we see? Who walks into this tavern?
So it's not what you see first; it's what you smell. There's a waft of foul air as you can see this red kobold with a bandolier of strange oddities and buzzing insects, all encapsulated in these jars. Philip, I would dare say you know of this kobold. He is somewhat of a mountain man and wouldn't say a self-proclaimed monster hunter in the absolute lowest sense. He is probably the worst possible monster hunter out there. However, he believes that he is the best. But attached to him is this leafy cloak of his own design. And just like our friend Thistle, he too drags in a whole bunch of mud, and you can see a few little bees just flying around his head. I'm back!
You're great. You're back. Look, Little Red, I thought you were going to be gone for another week. What are you doing?
Well, I'll get back sooner.
Great. Okay. You completed your hunt? You got the goods?
I faced the most terrifying foe.
Red, just
The
do this too many times. Did you complete it this time though?
And you see him just going through all these vandalisms, and you see a whole bunch of bees.
Oh, okay. See there. Okay. We can do something with that. For once, you're actually.
Do you want to see it?
Yes. Lovely. I don't want to touch it. No. Why isn't it in a jar? Why are you just holding them in your hands? What are you? Okay. Thank you. Now Philip awkwardly puts the pile of bees behind him. Okay. Here. Wipes off hands. Pulls out the little sack of coins. Passes it across. Yeah, perfect. Okay, why don't you go and sit next to our lovely friend just here? I'll prepare you a drink. You've obviously had some long travels, and then you can find work and be on your way as soon as possible. Yeah. See ya.
You see him nodding. He saddles up, probably a bit too more uncomfortable, next to Fizzle. How are you doing?
As you guys are settling in at the bar there, these bees are sort of starting to make their way across the common room, and you see a couple of people starting to lean back on their chairs and look at you guys and the mess that you're sort of dragged in there, and you see a couple of patrons just sort of getting up and leaving. And as one of these people starts to make their way through the front door of the tavern, they bump into someone as they're on their way into the tavern. Toby, who are they bumping into, man?
Coming through the doors, they see a human-looking male with short white hair and a large scar going from his left eye to the top of his left lip. He's wearing a lot of dark clothing and what probably used to be some sort of armor, but has just seeing so much damage and repair, and it's being held together by ropes and bits of scrap and stuff. He has a longbow on his back and a very straight longbow and a very short sword, katana that's like lined up almost perfectly with it. And he's just very light-footed, sort of just goes to, like after getting shoulder checked by the person coming out, goes to like an abrasive stance, and then kind of realizes that they were just walking, and then kind of shakes it off and just walks in and sidles up next to the bar. Phil's probably seen him for the good, like, better part of 2 weeks now. He's just sort of done the odd jobs here and there, just scraping by with little bits of gold and coming back here and to get as much as he can when his payment from his last couple of jobs runs out.
Look, Ronan, I've told you before, weapons at the door. You got to take them off, all of them, the bow, the sword, the daggers in your boots, the ball bearings, everything, please.
The Grunny gets up and goes back to the door and then lays
Thank
them
you.
neatly.
Look, even Little Red, you know him, the bees, I don't know, just, yeah, thank you. Everything at the door, anything that can harm the other patrons here, puts everyone at ease. You're already a confident fellow, you should be fine. It's good to see you back though. You've been flying through all these jobs. The wanted post is going to be empty soon. Are you okay? You need a... Look, you're good for business anyway. Come here, grab a drink.
I'll flick a gold coin onto the table and then dump my pretty much empty gold pouch down and be like, I need another one.
Easier coming up and pull out from the same drawer from Little Red, pop up his shares from his recent comeback. So you three look like a group for sore eyes. Actually, you two might be able to help, being a bit more knowledgeable of this area. Can you look at this? I'm gonna slide over the map.
It's a dog.
Look,
So-
I would have said the same thing. Apparently, it's a house. Is that right, Little Miss?
Yeah, Grace, why don't you explain exactly what do they see when they're looking at this hand-drawn, crude map of yours?
So, imagine sliding a piece of paper over to a child, like 3 or 4, and saying, draw the way to your house. That's pretty much what you're seeing. It was very quickly scribbled down by memory, but from her memory, she's very bad directionally wise, and she was like, okay, there's a tree here, and it's very badly plotted out. There's some lines, like a bee path, I guess, and it's got a big X up in the corner of the page. Obviously, no one would have any hope of knowing where this is or what it is. It's just so badly drawn, and it's like covered in mud, and it's like practically torn in half. It's no good, basically.
It's a bit of a mess. I'll tell you what, after we're finished with the stream tomorrow, I'm going to get my 3-year-old, I'm going to ask him, draw a map to find our house, and we're going to see what it looks like. I'll show you guys on Friday night what that looks like, and that'll be canon.
Yes.
That'll be the map that you
That
guys
will
see.
be canon.
Yeah, so you see this, I wouldn't say disheveled, but definitely dirty, you're an elf, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, so just sticks in her hair, covered in mud, and yeah, she's basically showing you this map that is completely incomprehensible. What do you do?
Completely unfazed by how she looks because I probably look as worse. I probably see a few bees and I'm trying to maybe get the insects trying to crawl into her hair.
Just give a
quickly become
confused look
fast
to
friends.
Philip.
Yeah.
Can I just, you got a bit of something up there?
I just look up, and obviously it would be like, I guess, a spider or something, and I'd probably just like let him do it, not touch it.
Quick play of jar.
Red, stop. We've told you personal space in here before with patrons. You make people leave. You gotta learn touching boundaries.
It shies away a little bit.
Okay, look, you're fine, little fella. It's just this isn't the kobold caves and the dens. No one's constantly running on top of each other. Just make sure you ask before you touch, okay?
This is
Okay.
a very progressive bar for a country bar. It doesn't serve drunk people at this bar, and has very defined personal space rules. We don't even have that at the
Philip
nightclub.
Philip's had a many run-in with issues of fights that ruin business, and he tries to keep the peace as much as possible.
As you guys are discussing this map, another couple of commoners come walking in, and as they pass you guys by, you can hear that they're actually having a quiet discussion among themselves. Why doesn't everyone roll a quick perception check for me? Just for fun, just to get some D&D rolling done tonight.
Oh, that's what I want.
All right.
Perception.
Open game log.
16 for me.
16. Someone just showed me what perception is. That's fantastic. Well, if anyone who hasn't played D&D before, you now know what a perception roll is. Checks to Alliance sight. So we got a 16. Grace.
I think I just rolled twice. Obviously.
Yeah, you rolled a 40. I think that's a little bit high for 5th edition.
Can see everything.
You can see beyond space and time.
Literally. Sorry, I am hopeless at technology.
You're right. So in the top right hand corner, if you open your character sheet, it says sheet.
So for all those watching the stream at the moment, in the chat you can probably currently see we have a perception check of 16, we have the description of perception, and we have 2 d20s rolled for no reason.
It's a good start, my man. That's why we do these tests. All right. Oh, here we go. 1d20.
Okay. No.
We're
I
getting there.
typed
It's the correct
1d20.
amount of dice now.
Oh my god, I am so sorry.
No, it's all right.
My passive perception's 15.
Your passive perception's 15. I'll tell you what, I can actually make that roll for you.
Oh, that would be amazing.
If you need, Philip can roll for perception.
Oh yeah? Why doesn't Philip roll perception for me? He's got your average commoner stats. Yeah, only 1d20 there, please. I don't think Philip can see beyond space and time. So your perception, where is it? There you are. Oh, not too bad. Thistle, you rolled a 21. That's pretty good. Good work.
Sauce.
All right. So didn't need necessarily a particularly high perception check. I just wanted to do some rolls. I love the sound of dice rolling. But Thistle, you more so than the others. The others, you do hear this as well. They seem to be discussing some rumours of one of the local farms having been raided, and the farmers and their family are either missing or been found dead, and they're just not sure exactly who did this. But whoever did it was quite brutal in the way that they killed these farmers.
Okay. Well, Thistle just being like, she's a gal pal. Everyone loved Thistle, so she just walks straight up to them, takes a seat, and she's like, what?
Christian, you want to take over one of these commoners for me?
Lovely, lovely. Sorry, do we know you?
No, but I couldn't help but overhear the things that were going on, and I just thought I'd come and just join the conversation.
Okay. It gives you like a look up and down along the very ragged clothing in here at the moment. Yeah, so there was some people not in the best of a situation. What? You wouldn't happen to be close by to there, were you? You look like you've gone through some troubles yourself.
Nah, just the classic tumbling down a hill, that sort of vibe. getting
Like
stung
you
by a
were running
bee.
away from bodies tumbling down a hill?
No, I was the one doing the tumbling.
Slightly like nudges the chair away. Um, look, okay. The other girl pipes up. Look, okay. The goss was that apparently there was some dead men they turned up. As far as I heard from Grace, there was this some sort of wild beast. It had like 6 legs and 3 heads and was like just snapping everywhere. There was a town guard that tried to help and just wham, and it was crazy. My husband's an adventurer here at this pub. I come, I get discounts. That's why I'm here. But it was just insane. So if you weren't there, I'd steer clear of that side of town. Just saying.
Mm, that sounds like interesting. Then I get up and go back to the bar and turn to the cobalt. I'm like, did you hear that?
You what?
Something about a monster with like 6 legs and like 2 heads, and it was like totally cray cray.
Oh, a mutated bee.
A bee?
Look, Red, not everything's a bee. Also, what does did you what does cray cray mean?
Like,
Oh,
I've
I don't
never
know, it's
heard
just
that
a
term.
saying we
Is that
have in our village.
people your age?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Well,
elvish.
look, if there's a creature there, I'm sure we'll get some sort of poster for it on the wanted board soon. And if you guys are taking interest together, maybe you can group up, put your strengths together, hunt it down for me. I've got some coin here. Pat's under the table.
So Ronan, while this is happening, what are you doing, man? You jumping into an ale, or what's going on?
Yeah, jumping into an ale and then kind of having a back ear to the description of the monster, just rolling my eyes and just thinking, yeah, today it's got 2 heads and 6 legs, and tomorrow it'll have 10 heads and 40 legs, and just kind of rolling my eyes and then just down in the drink.
Very good. I love it. You know what? I think that's a cool cliffhanger. Actually, to call it a night. I think we've got everything we need. We've had a little teaser trailer for what's coming up on Friday night. So this Friday, what date did I say? It was the 4th of February at 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. We're going to go live with Amongst Shadows and Stone. Everyone's going to be there. Grace is going to be there. George is going to be there. Toby's going to be there. Christian's going to be there as my co-DM and the person that does all the heavy lifting for me because I'm too lazy. And we're even going to be joined by Hadrian as well, who couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately. But it's going to be an awesome session. Thanks, guys, for joining me tonight. And thank you for putting up with my little impromptu ad-lib session. I think that's where we're going to call it a night. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night. Ciao, bana.